Assalamualaikum, sir.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقه قولي ربي زدني علما وألحقني بالصالحين السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.
Assalamualaikum, sir.
Assalamualaikum, sir.
So, alaikum assalam. This is
Assalamualaikum, sir.
unit number 2, okay, and we will have to start from the last paragraph on page number 6, and then we will move on. So, in the above paragraphs, we are told about their family relationship with the girl, and once again, we are told about the reason that why the book has been written. So, the book has been written to please a girl of 7. She was a little bit blind, and over there, once again, we were given the reason. Mute yourselves, okay? No need to.
Okay, sir. Sama dati na yun.
So, we had discussed that what was the problem. So, the entire family background is told to us that
Hello.
two students are two uh, boys, they were perfectly sighted, and then
Assalamualaikum.
and a girl, they were having somehow a defect in their eyesight.
Assalamualaikum.
Jenny had less eyesight than her brother. So we'll have to start from the last paragraph on page number 6. Jenny had less eyesight than her brother, and little. She could only see a little light and shade. One day, the other children decided to climb to a particularly enticing cave they had spotted on the face of a cliff that was too steep for Jenny and for me too. And since I was going through a vertiginous period, so she and I walked around the loch and stayed in, talked about the old story the locals had told us about the lake horse, a great horse that was to be seen sometimes galloping on the surface of the loch, a great creature of mist and terror that took soul to keep it company in deep water. Jenny and I decided that this was just a story to frighten children and keep them away from the dangerous loch. Then she sighed. Then she sighed. Oh, they won't let me do dangerous things. So, in the paragraph that we will be explaining now, it is told that Jenny was somehow having a defective eyesight. She was having less eyesight than her brother, and she could only see little light and little shade. And if the light, okay, if the light is somehow more or increased, then she's unable to see. In the sunlight she can't see, and even uh, when it is somehow the shade is more, then she's unable to see. So one day over there, okay, on the island of the Mul, the other children they decided to climb to a special cave, okay, a cave that was somehow on the face of a steep cliff, okay. So they all wanted to go over there, but the cliff was too steep for Jenny. Jenny was unable to what to climb that cliff to go to those caves. Okay, she was unable to go because of steep what cliffs, and that was also what too steep for the writer. She says that it was steep for me, and it was steep for Jenny.
नहीं लगी है 10 मिनट होगा फिर भी नहीं लगी आपको यूज करना तो करना है 11:30 तक
So, according to the writer, the cliff to climb the cliff that was too steep for Jenny and for her. So, there will be a question in the exercise that what was the reason they didn't climb the cliff. So, the reason was that the cliff was too steep for Jenny and for her to climb, okay, because she was going through a vertiginous period. She was somehow going through wailing, or you can say uh, a disease that causes dizziness or somehow vertigo, okay, when a person is unable to keep his balance. That is the disease. So she and I walked around the lock. So both of them, Jenny and the writer, they started to what? To walk around the lock, okay, around that lake, around that pond, and they were discussing the old mythical story about the lake, okay. They were discussing that very story, that what was the story of the lake. So the story of the lake, there was a horse, and that horse was a greedy creature of mist and terror. It was a terrible creature, a very somehow frightening creature that took souls to keep it company in deep water. And that frightening horse used to keep humans souls, okay, with him to the deep water. So Jenny and the writer, they decided that this was nothing more than just a fable, okay, to frighten the children and to keep them away from this dangerous pond, this dangerous lake. And then that girl, she sighed. She expressed her what? Her feelings, the and that she were wishing and somehow desiring that they won't let me do dangerous things because of my weak eyesight. I'm unable to go on adventures. I'm unable to do something. They are brave and they are somehow courageous because of my weak eyesight. So let us explain them line by line. Jenny had less eyesight than her brother. So Jenny was having a bigger issue than her brother. Okay, that was or he was born who was born with infantile glaucoma. Her eyesight was less than that boy. Okay, the boy we discussed, the writer wanted to what? To bath him and to what? To bring out his glass eye. That was the boy. So she could only see a little light and shade. So because of that weakness and less eyesight, she was just able to see little bit light, okay. And when the light was somehow increased, or she was unable to see in the sunlight. And then once again, the problem was not only with sunlight, but the shade was also a bigger issue for her to see in. Okay, to see in. One day, the other children decided to climb to a particularly enticing cave they had spotted on the face of a cliff that was too steep for Jenny and for me. So one day, all of the kids they decided to climb to a special attractive cave. Okay, the word enticing mean attractive, you can call it. A thing that somehow has the absorbent quality to attract. Okay, so they decided to go to that attractive, that beautiful cave. Okay, that was on the face of a cliff, of a, somehow a steep mountain that was too steep for Jenny. So that mountain, to climb that mountain, that was somehow too steep for Jenny and for me. The writer is over here, what she is discussing, and she's talking to us in first person pronoun. That is why she is using the objective case of first person singular I, that is objective is me. So that was the cliff was too steep for Jenny and for the writer. So two, and along with this problem that it was steep for Jenny, I was going through a vertiginous period. So I was also suffering from wheeling. Okay, somehow I was unable to keep my balance while what? While climbing the cliff. So she and I walked around the loch instead and talked about the old story the locals had told us about the lake horse. So they both decided to just to walk around that lake, that loch, that pond. Okay, instead of climbing on that what cliff or going to that cave, enticing cave, they decided to just to walk over there. Okay, walk around the pond, the loch, and they talked about the old story the locals had told us about the lake horse, and they discussed about the myth, about the unreal story, about the fable. Okay, about the imaginary story of that terrible horse, that frightening horse, the lake horse. And what was the lake horse? The lake horse was a great horse. He was a powerful horse. He was somehow a great horse that was to be seen sometimes. And the lake horse used to appear sometimes. He isn't over there, okay, every time, but one can see the lake horse, okay, somehow sometimes galloping on the surface of the loch. And what that horse does, okay, that horse gallops on the surface of the loch. He runs, he jumps on the surface of the log. And what was that? Along with that, the further information about the the grady horse, about the great horse or the lag horse is given. Okay, a grady creature of mist and terror. That horse was a greedy creature. He was a cunning creature. He was not a good creature. He was a creature of mist. Mist, whenever you see mist, so mist is a thing that is somehow just like magical. When something frightening is happening in any movie or drama, you can see there will be mist. There will be what? There will be fog. There will be mist and terror. So that hers was made of two things. And what were the things? Number one was mist, and the next was terror. They took soul to keep it company in the deep water. And that horse, that lake horse, used to keep human souls, our children's souls, deep down to the water and keep it over there, okay, in his company. So whenever the lake horse watches, sees any infant, any baby, any children, any kid just bathing in that what, in that lock, in that pond, he comes over there and keeps that very kid in what, in that deep waters, and keep his soul in company with him. Jenny and I decided that it was just a story. So my decision of the Jenny was that this is mere a story. This is mere a self-made story. This is not a reality to frighten the children. And why they do narrate this story? Just to keep away the children from that dangerous lake. This is just a mere story to frighten, okay, to keep away to keep away the children. The word frighten means to scare, or somehow one is afraid of. One is afraid of. Okay, fear, fear. So to what? To frighten children. They used to narrate this story. This is not a real story. This is somehow imaginary. The self-made story. The locals that they had discovered it to keep away the children from that dangerous lock. Then she sighed. Then she expressed her what? Her desires in the shape of a sigh. She was sorry. She was feeling somehow downgraded. She was feeling somehow bad for herself. And what were the reasons that she was sighing? Okay. Oh, she was doing like this. They won't let me do dangerous things. My parents won't let me do such adventures, such dangerous things, to go and climb on that cliff. They will not what allow me to do such adventures, to go on such dangerous trips. She wanted to climb to the cave with my children and her brothers and sister. She sighed again, and then she said, I wish you would write a book about a blind girl, Nina. So there was a willingness in her heart, there was a desire that she what? She wanted to climb to that cave, that enticing, that beautiful and attractive cave. She wanted to go over there, okay, with the rest of the kids, with the rest of the children, okay, with her siblings and with the children of the writer. She wanted to climb that cave. But she sighed again. She expressed once again her sorries and her weaknesses, that, oh my God, I'm that weak, that nobody is going to allow me to climb to that cave. Then she said, I wish you would write a book about a blind girl, Lina. And then she wished, she told Nina that if you would write a book about a blind girl, okay, I would love if you write a book about a blind girl. So I inquired, I asked, what sort of book? I asked, what type of book do you need? She said very promptly, she said or answered very quickly. The word promptly means quickly. She answered very quickly, okay, a book about jewel thieves and caves. The book will be about the treasures, about the jewels, about the jewel thieves, and there will be robbers and thieves. That they will be what? They will be stealing those jewels and caves, and there will be caves in the story. So Jenny is expressing her desire that she wants what? A book to be written about the jewel thieves and about the caves. And there will be a girl, a blind girl who does something brave. And she what? She will be the brave girl. That girl will be the brave girl, and she would perform some great actions. She would indeed do some things that they will be great. So, in these lines, the girl, Jenny, she expressed her willingness and her desires to what? To Nina, that she should write a book, a story about jewel thieves and about somehow caves and about some adventures that a brave blind girl she what? She did. Okay, she wanted to a book to be written like that. We discussed what a blind girl could do that was special. So we discussed everything, that what are the possible things that a blind girl could do. So boys, I think this is enough. The rest of the unit we will read it tomorrow. So if you have any question in these things or any difficult word, you can ask. If you have any difficulty or anything that is somehow you don't understand, you can tell me.
Sir, no question.
Huh?
No question.
Really, no questions?
Yes, sir. Really.
Okay, so all of you now you can go with me. Why slowly and gradually, all of you, you're just picking me or not? It is the same level that you don't get. Okay, you will have to go with me in English because English is to be taught in English. Okay, this is not Urdu or something else that we will use the second language Urdu. So this is English and we will use purely English over here.
Okay, sir.
Okay, thank you so much.
Thank
And have a
you.
good day.
Okay.